right, here's our latest update on what has been happening in the trial of Sean Combs. Prosecutor Emily Johnson pulled up a still image of the well known hotel surveillance footage from the Intercontinental in 2016. Cassie Ventura said the image showed her leaving after an encounter that we called a freak off. Ventura was asked how she and her former boyfriend, Combs, started doing freak offs. Within the first year of our relationship, he proposed this idea, this sexual encounter that he called voyeurism, where he would watch me be in intercourse with a third party, specifically with another man, she testified. Ventura went on to say that a freak off would entail hiring an escort and setting up this experience so that I could perform for Sean. She said she couldn't remember where the name freak off came from, but she said that Combs introduced it to her. Eventually, it became a job for me, pretty much, so I knew if it was something he wanted me to do, I had the contacts to set it up and get a hotel room and all of that, but in the beginning, Sean set it up. He was in charge, Ventura testified. Ventura recalled on the stand when Diddy first proposed freak-offs to her. She said she remembers the feeling of her stomach falling. I also felt a sense of responsibility. It was him sharing something like that with me. I was confused, nervous, but also loved him very much and wanted to make him happy. So, she said, I knew it wasn't something I wanted to be doing, especially as regularly as it became, but again, I was just in love and wanted to make him happy, she testified. Ventura said she didn't know how to refuse freak-offs. It got to a point where I just don't feel like I had much of a choice. Didn't really know what no could be or what no could turn into, she said. She said Combs controlled a lot of her life, from her career to the way she dressed, and I just didn't feel like I had much say in it at the time, being really super young, naive, total people pleaser, Ventura said. I didn't know if he would be upset enough to be violent or if he would write me off and just not want to be with me at all. Cassie Ventura testified that she was also afraid that the blackmail materials would become public. She said she kept broken laptops, iPads, and phones because she didn't know what material was on them. She also said Sean is a really polarizing person, also very charming, so it's hard to be able to decide in that moment like what you need when he's telling you what he wants. The relationship between Combs and Ventura started platonically, she says. Cassie Ventura testified that she signed a contract with Bad Boy Records, Sean Diddy Combs' company, in early 2006. She said that before she met Combs, she knew him as a larger-than-life music entrepreneur, and she met him when she was about 19 years old. Ventura said she had a platonic relationship with Combs in that time, just after she signed with his record label. She said he looked out for her when she had a few rough performances. Prosecutor Emily Johnson then showed the jury of a photo of Ventura and Combs together in 2006, the same year she signed her record deal. Cassie Ventura testified that she saw Combs about once a month at social outings in 2006. In August 2007, while celebrating her 21st birthday in Las Vegas, Combs kissed her in a bathroom, Ventura said. I was just really confused at the time, she said, noting that she was a young new artist who just didn't really know the layout of the land when it came to things like that. She testified that she cried and ran off. Did you want to kiss Sean at your 21st birthday? Emily Johnson asked Ventura. No, not at my 21st birthday, Ventura said. Emily Johnson asked Cassie Ventura how Sean Diddy Combs influenced her career at the time. He called most of the shots. Well, all of the shots. I had a new record. I would play it for him. He chose what was next for me, basically, Ventura said. And we'll continue with part 2, linked in the comments. Part 2. Cassie Ventura detailed the early phase of her relationship with Combs. After he kissed her on her 21st birthday, she said Combs began inviting her to hotel rooms in New York where he was staying while his home was being renovated. She said they started to develop a more comfortable relationship with each other. I wanted to be around Sean for the same reasons as everyone else at the time. Just this exciting, entertaining, fun guy that also happened to have my career in his hands, Ventura said. It felt special because not a lot of people got that time with him. Ventura described herself as being sexually unexperienced at the time. During one of those New York visits, she said Combs performed oral sex on her and made her feel crazy for not reciprocating. I was just so young. I didn't even have the vocabulary for some of the things that we talked about, she testified. I was also still in a relationship with someone else, she added. Eventually, Combs, Ventura, and other friends took a trip to Miami, she said. Ventura said she took ecstasy that Combs gave her while they were drinking and partying on a boat. Ventura said she and Combs had sex for the first time on this trip. There's absolutely no consent here. Cassie Ventura testified that she became one of Sean Combs' girlfriends after the Miami trip. Sean Combs had many girlfriends, Ventura said. At the time, I knew that we were spending a lot of time together, one-on-one, and I really felt like we were in a monogamous relationship for a period, she said. Their relationship wasn't public for years, she said, because she was his artist and because of his family. Ventura said once she started dating Combs, she broke ties with her management company, which also managed her former boyfriend. After the Miami trip, she said she fell in love with Combs. I traveled with him everywhere. I was in studios. I was just like his little shadow for a little while, she testified. Ventura said that at this point, the relationship was fun, describing it as her first real adult relationship. She also noted that Combs' lifestyle was much different than her own. He had assistants at his beck and call. He could get anything done quickly. He had respect from everyone. He traveled quite a bit, Ventura said. Ventura testified that early on she was just enamored by him, but later on she began to experience a different side of him, which was his abusive side. She said Combs was very controlling over her life and the things that I wanted to do, but there was still love there. Control was everything from the way that I looked to what I was working on that day, who I was speaking to. Control was kind of an all-around thing to a certain point, she testified. On a typical day, Ventura said she talked to Combs all day throughout the day. She said sometimes she wouldn't answer his calls or messages right away, and he would be an incessant caller, and he would have his staff call until she answered. There were times Combs' assistants or security personnel would locate her for him in person, she said. Emily Johnson, the prosecutor, asked Ventura to give an example of how Combs' moods impacted her. Ventura said Combs' mood swung different ways quite a bit. The most complicated and the greatest examples are the abuse, because I also felt at certain times when I knew it wasn't even about me, and you make the wrong face and the next thing I knew, I was getting hit in the face, Ventura said. Ventura said Combs would check on what music she was working on, and he would give her busy work on projects that never released. I think busy work, just the way I interpreted, was just control over what I was doing over every minute of the day, she testified. Ventura said that if she didn't respond to Combs, he would call her constantly and sometimes send someone, usually his security, to her home to check on her. More updates and part 3, of course, linked in the comment. Part 3. Ventura says she thought she and Combs were in a monogamous relationship. Ventura described her complicated relationship with Combs. She testified that she thought they were in a monogamous relationship, but soon realized they were not. I didn't get that he was him. He was Puff Daddy, and Puff Daddy has many women, Ventura said, describing how she felt jealous about seeing him with other women. He likes the company of women, and I just had to really learn that over time, despite what he would tell me just between us. She continued, he made me feel like we were in a monogamous relationship more often than not. It was really me figuring out that we were not. He expected that of me, so I guess I assumed it was the same, Ventura said. Ventura testified that she eventually moved to Los Angeles full-time from New York to follow Combs. She said he wanted to be near his kids, so she went too. I moved because I was in love and I wanted to be near him, Ventura said. Combs paid her rent during her time in New York, Ventura confirmed. When Combs paid the rent for places she lived, he had his own keys that he used whenever he wanted. Combs lived right down the block from Ventura's apartment in California, she said. She said she could walk or drive about 3 minutes to his home. Ventura said she later bought her own house in Studio City because she wanted the freedom for herself. I wasn't getting in a lot of other ways. And there was no fight, she said. Ventura said that she recorded hundreds of songs, and while some of them got released, some didn't see the light of day. She didn't release 9 of the albums that were included on her record deal. Asked how not releasing albums affected her financially, Ventura said her career was stifled. Then the jury was dismissed for a lunch break that ended at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then Ventura continued her testimony, testifying that the freak-offs could last 36, 48, or 72 hours, forcing her to spend a big chunk of her life recovering from the drug use and dehydration. The freak-offs became a job where there was no space to do anything else but to recover and just try to feel normal again, she said. Ventura recalled the longest freak-off continued for 4 or more days with some breaks. Now, overall, what was learned from Cassie's testimony? In the early stages of their relationship, she testified that their relationship started platonically and that she was signed to Bad Boy Records in 2006 when she was 19 at the time. She told the court that she was really confused at the beginning. She discovered different sides of Diddy. She realized that they were in a non-monogamous relationship, but she was charged with treating her relationship as if it was monogamous on her end and her end only. There were allegations of abuse, and she kept broken devices because she wasn't quite sure what was on the devices, since Diddy had a propensity of recording things for the sake of blackmail against her. Cassie Ventura's husband is allowed to be in the court for parts of her testimony, and this is what is currently known about him. Defense lawyers for Combs indicated Tuesday that they intend to call Cassie Ventura's husband, Alex Fine, to the stand to testify about allegations that Combs raped Ventura, Combs' former girlfriend, and one of his accusers in 2018. Fine was allowed by Judge Aaron Subramaniam to sit in the courtroom to support his wife during her testimony, which began today, until the 2018 allegations are brought up. Ventura and Fine wed in 2019 during a secret ceremony in Malibu 1 year after Ventura and Combs' years-long relationship ended. According to an interview with Vogue, Fine, who was a personal trainer, and Ventura met at the gym. The couple are parents of 2 daughters, Frankie and Sunny, and announced in February they are expecting their 3rd child. After video footage emerged of Combs physically assaulting Ventura in a California hotel lobby in 2016, Fine issued an apparent response to the video in what he wrote was a letter to women and children posted on his Instagram page. Our daughters, sisters, mothers, and wives should feel protected and loved, he wrote. Hold women in your life with the utmost regard. Men who hurt women hate women. And he's not wrong. And just so you know, Cassie is currently approximately 8 months pregnant, and she showed up to court in a very form-fitting dress. There's no getting around the fact that she is with child, and the defense team wanted her to be seated well before the jury came in, as if that was going to stop them from being able to notice that she's with child. But as always, you all let me know your thoughts in the comments. The next round of updates, I'll bring it to you.